familiar faces. I mean, oh, look at that for a crash. Oh, look at that.
Hello and welcome to sunny Stoke-on-Trent, where we've got a double header of action for you tonight with round 7 of the Pearl Izumi Tour Series and round 3 of the Women's Matrix. A sunny Redditch welcomed round 2 of the Matrix Fitness Grand Prix, and it was National Criterium champion Nikki Juniper who looked to be on form, taking the first sprint.
Great move there by Nikki Juniper, good circuit knowledge.
Shortly after, the field split up as the pace at the front proved too much for some, and it was Team Breeze's Annesley Park who led the way. Park taking the second sprint unchallenged and opening up a healthy lead in the overall points classification. This is how it would remain out front, and with only one corner to go, Annesley Park was set up for a brilliant individual win.
Nothing but celebration for Annesley Park. She cruises home.
Whilst she rode off into the sunset, the rest of the field were all still of racing, with the team prize up for grabs. Annesley Park taking an emphatic win, and it was also Team Breeze with the team win on the night to help narrow the gap to the series leaders Drop Cycling, who are 16 points clear of Team Breeze. I'm joined now by one of the key pace setters at Drop Cycling, Alice Barnes. It's great to see you, Alice. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
Now, we didn't see you at the last round, but the team's been so dominant. What's it like to be a huge part of that?
Yeah, we had a really good round in Motherwell, taking the win by 19 points as a team. And I also took the sprint competition on the night, so we were really happy with that result. And then going into Redditch, we backed it up with a good performance. We didn't take the win on the night. Team Breeze took the team win and the individual win. But we backed it up with a good solid result and came in second on the night. So we've got a good lead coming into Stoke today.
And throughout this season, you know, you got off to such a strong start. Does that give a lot of confidence to you and the other team members?
Yeah, we're just looking to have a good race, and it's a tough course, so we're really looking forward to it tonight.
Tell us a bit more about that course. What can we expect to see from the racing?
I think it'll be quite a tough race and maybe spread out a lot. It's quite a tough course with it dragging up round the back as well as up the start-finish straight, so that's going to be really tough for everyone, I think.
And it can be so unpredictable as well. We saw in the last round a lot of mechanicals, a lot of crashes. How much can you sort of predict what's going to happen in that sense?
Yeah, it is difficult, especially with crashes, because it depends on the weather. But we've got a really nice day here in Stoke, so hopefully that's not going to play a massive part. But you can never really know what's going to happen when it comes to mechanicals.
And for you in the wider season, what are your individual ambitions?
Yeah, so I've been looking at the Olympic road race. That's one of my main aims of the season. But obviously I've joined Drops this year, and it's such a great atmosphere, and I've really enjoyed it so far. So I'm looking forward to racing with them.
And who's the key competition for you tonight?
Obviously our closest rivals in the team competition are Breeze, so we'll look to try and hold them off again on the night. But obviously there's individual riders like Sarah Story. She's always strong on Stoke because of the hard demanding course, so yeah, we'll look to hold her off as well, hopefully.
Thanks so much for the insight and for joining us. Good luck, of course, tonight. We can't wait to see you out there in action, but first let's take a closer look at today's course. The 1.4 kilometre Stoke circuit boasts a good selection of fast and technical sections to keep the riders on their toes. A long uphill drag to the finish will be hard going for tired legs. Stoke-on-Trent, a unique city affectionately known as the Potteries, once again welcomes the Pearl Izumi Tour Series. With its rich industrial heritage and history, Stoke-on-Trent has respectfully claimed the title of World Capital of Ceramics. The city has recently been awarded the prestigious title of European City of Sport 2016. And with more than 1,380 hectares of parks and open spaces, Stoke-on-Trent is one of the greenest cities in the UK, with a mixture of formal Victorian and local parks and some spectacular countryside. So let's join the race action for round 3 of the Women's Matrix Fitness Series. Let's join our commentary team of Tony Gibb and Frank Kirby.
Thanks, Bex. Round 3 then underway here in Stoke-on-Trent, and a challenging course, I think it's fair to say. They're getting their first look here in the sunshine. It's a question of just getting your mind set for what is going to be, as always, a real competition.
The addition of a pedestrianised section has meant a slight change of course. These riders haven't raced in the Tour Series for a week.
Well, maybe unfamiliarity perhaps, but well, a few shakes of the head as well. First sprint coming up then. We've split into two groups of around 16 riders, as you can see, but some of the major players up towards the fore.
Nicky Juniper in second place. Little nasty left-hand turn here as you enter the finish straight, long uphill drag.
And they're coming to it right now. It's started to break down just a little bit. We've got two groups of around 16 riders just starting to show themselves. And you can see that defending champion Nicky Juniper just checking who's around. You don't want anyone dive bombing up the inside, as if you could possibly do that on this testy little drag that we've got right now. It's narrow in places than you might have thought as well. And this then the start of our first sprint lap. No mood to engage the pace just for the time being, because the drag goes on, Tony.
Up this finish straight, round the top now, centre of your screen, Nicky Juniper in the National Champions jersey.
Just about to come to what they call the helter-skelter. This is how we stand now after 2 rounds. Alice Park leads the sprints competition on 16 ahead of Alice Barnes and Nicky Juniper on 9. And here we go, a series of curves leading all the way down to what is a series of 90-degree curves as well to be taken. And so road positioning, I guess, at a premium.
Road positioning very important on this circuit. Some of the corners don't look that tight and technical, but believe you me, they are. And this, as we said earlier, the pedestrianised bit, meaning this additional right-hand turn here.
Just going through Stafford Street and down towards Trinity Street, and it's dead centre of that we get our first 90-degree turn. And if you drift over to the right-hand side of the road, it could spell danger. So a difficult section, most certainly, and likely to get more so as fatigue sets in later on.
The new section as well, so no one's ridden this part of the course before. Stoke, one of those venues that's been around in the Matrix Fitness Tour Series for many years.
Well, the first of the right-handers, and in fact just about the only one on this course that we're running anti-clockwise today. And they start a drag yet again. They go up a Cheapside, around past the town hall, and then they continue a gentle incline before that nasty drag sets in back to the start-finish line. This is our sprint lap, we remind you.
So here we go, Nicky Juniper, centre of the picture in the National Champions jersey. The Drops team, don't forget, wearing the leaders' jerseys in white and red.
And as we said before, no real combativity being displayed just for the time being. It seems that almost honours are set, at least for now, but this is where it lights up. All of a sudden, the line beckons. Nicky Juniper picks it up. She's been head and shoulders above everybody else so far today, leading, I think, most. And in fact, every single one of the laps that we've had so far, and now she's going to claim her prize, which is the first sprint. Annesley Park just coming across the line for second place here, ahead of, I think, Alice Barnes it is from Drop Cycling, Grace Garner and Hayley Jones making up the top 5. Nicky Juniper getting a just desserts there.
Well, she was almost unchallenged for that sprint that time round, and still in the lead right up the top of the start-finish straight. And here's the confirmation of the result.
5 points then going to Nicky Juniper. That really does help her assault, and there's some changes as well, as you can see, as they start to rock into this one. Podium Ambition want to start assembling points, and they're doing so right now. Another testy moment, and it's it's found out another. My goodness. Rider just almost on guard here as everyone else, and there's some quick approaches coming right now, and they've got to take care. There go the barriers, as if as a warning, but those feet don't look very safe at all. Let's just hope everyone does indeed stay safe as they come round.
Nasty rider there for a girl I know very well, Nikki Kovacs, and best wishes to her.
Well, they're just slowing everybody down right now. Great care being taken. They're calling as well out, and the riders giving this turn as much respect as they can. Still a few shaky moments, but good bike handling skills to avoid the stricken rider. That looks like a clavicle problem for the time being. My goodness, Stoke has taken prisoners. Welcome back. Grace Garner, who scored points in the opening sprints, on the nose just for the time being. Teammate in tow as well, as you can see. Around 7-8 riders it is that have got a 30-second gap over everybody else as we engage in the sprint lap. It's starting to sort itself out. This narrow section does frighten me, but clearly not them. They're fully engaged as we start this all-important run.
Here we've got the national champion. She's been at the front the whole time in this race with only 8 riders left coming round to this sprint lap. This circuit really has decimated this field today.
Certainly has. Taken too many, I'm afraid, out of it. We've had some lapped riders as well, but Nikki Juniper, she had things all her own way on sprint 1. It looks like everybody else has warmed up to the task to challenge her this time by. So watch out for the national jersey there in P3 as they come once again down Stafford Street, and it starts to engage that nasty turn, starting off with Trinity Street. That's the first of the left-handers. The second one comes almost immediately after. Then there's that right-hander which starts to climb again, back up to that sprint finish. Here we go then. They've just widened the barriers to allow the riders to have a better view of the approach into that curve. The second 90-degree comes very, very quickly, as you can see, and they are just strung out in a line just for the time being. Hayley Jones keeping in touch as well, and they're just engaging in the test now.
So this sprint no more than 400 metres away. It's good job it's dry, because those town centre cobbles, you can see, very slippery in these conditions, but dry, bright, a little bit chilly here tonight, but great conditions for a bike race.
Drops very much involved, as you can see, wearing the team leaders jersey there. Nice to see as well that Alice Barnes is striking out just a little bit. She's hanging on the wheels, in fact, of Nikki Juniper, who's in P2 just for the time being. So getting a little bit cagey on the approach. This is a little downhill run before we get to that line, and nobody really wants to pick it up. Who's got the power? If you have, it's now, and it looks like Nikki Juniper is teeing herself up for the drive, and it is. Here it comes on the incline. She goes. No wonder she's national champion. She heads out and goes for this, and it's a goodly gap as well she's got on everybody else. 100 metres or so remaining for Nikki Juniper to make it 2 sprints out of 2 and wrap up the day here. It's certainly, in terms of the intermediates, fantastic performance, and look at the gap.
Great ride there. Takes a good 20 or 30 metres out of Annesley Park in second place from Team Breeze, but Nikki Juniper, Team Ford EcoBoost, really making the sprints competition her own tonight.
Very much so. Juniper takes it then ahead of Annesley Park, Alice Barnes, Hayley Jones and Grace Gardner from Podium Ambition. How does that shape up then for the sprints for this round 3? Nikki Juniper racking it up. Maximum points, 10 for her. Annesley Park, 2 seconds, add up to 8. Alice Barnes, Grace Garner and Hayley Jones. And this is how the overall stands after 3 rounds then of the intermediate sprints competition. Annesley Park got 24. Nikki Juniper closing that gap now. Just 5 between them after 3 rounds.
2 laps to go coming up this finish straight this time round. 8 riders in the lead group, heavily represented by Podium Ambition and Dame Sarah Story just at the back, multiple Paralympic champion.
2 laps to go, and it's Claire Rose on the front. Juniper just in second ahead of Garner, and a brace of drops riders, Barnes and Simpson, just chasing on for the time being. Time running out then if you want to get something out of today, and as you can see, there'll be some lapped riders busy chit-chatting for the time being. This is where the action's going to be at the end.
Front of the race here, coming round this 90-degree corner. A lap and a half to go this time.
Rose picks it. Oh, no! My goodness, well, we talked about these 90-degree turns, and it seems now to have been a real capture point.
Annesley Park, our sprints leader there from Team Breeze, one of the riders that's come unstuck, and she's got an onboard camera, and here's the view from it.
This is Annesley Park right now. Just check it out, looking for space, trying to make that turn. It is a focused one, and that's how bad it is. Wow. Stoke-on-Trent has been tough on the women. Round 3, and we're climbing once again.
1 lap to go, Carlton, this time round with this slimmed down front group by virtue of the fact of that crash. And it's the leaders in this competition that really look like they're going to capitalise.
Drops are here, as you can see as well, the national champion. And just double-checking over shoulders, seeing who's there, who is amassed. And Nikki Juniper's got to feel she's in a good place here. Podium Ambition well represented for the time being. Team Breeze cast asunder by that accident.
Podium Ambition here pushed off of the front. Nikki Juniper isolated from behind. You can see the Crash rider just being comforted, but we really need to see the events at the front. And here we go with half a lap to go.
Half a lap to go. It's time to reach out if you've got something. And Claire Rose clearly feels that she has, forgetting what's gone on behind and her teammates that are on the deck. She's racing for them as well as herself right now. Big turn. This is the nasty one that's caught out so many. She sails through, able to thread it beautifully as she heads by her teammate here, Nicole Murrick, just being helped away. But that almost seems to have distilled her ambition here, and away she goes.
Driving along with about 400 metres to go, not many technical turns left. The chase is on behind, but is Claire Rose going to be able to hang on? Nikki Juniper was on the front pushing, but the impetus has gone out of the chase group now.
Nikki Juniper doesn't want to drag anyone else into action here, but Claire Rose has gone for this. It looks like it's hers for the losing, and you have a look further back and suddenly Nikki Juniper realises that the day may well be going elsewhere. More than that, it's been snatched here by Claire Rose, who really does strike out. She's going to take on the incline before just about anybody else. That's Dame Sarah Story, by the way, who's going to score points for Podium Ambition, along with Grace Garner by the looks of things. But it is about Claire Rose for the time being as she starts to climb to glory here.
50 metres left for Claire Rose from Podium Ambition. She's going to take an emphatic victory here in Stoke, and the sprint is on behind with Nikki Juniper on the front at the moment for second place.
Well, amongst all the wreckage picking up the pieces, looks like it's going to be Nikki Juniper, but Alice Barnes will challenge her, likewise Grace Garner. But it's all about Claire Rose at the line, and what a gap it is. There's the sprint rolling on behind, and as you can see, Juniper has been so strong on the previous two sprints that she's got more of a challenge here. She's going to have to take care. Oh, she put in just the right amount of pace at the end. Garner and Simpson crossed the line for 4th and 5th place, but it's the team game that we're thinking of here in this Matrix Fitness Grand Prix series. And Dame Sarah Story has done enough to pick up some points here, finishing just behind Hayley Jones. And in fact, that effort means that Podium Ambition take the night. Claire Rose takes it. Tremendous performance. Nikki Juniper closest to her. Alice Barnes making up the day's podium.
The individual winner of the night, Claire Rose!
Just what the doctor ordered. Claire Rose victorious here in Stoke-on-Trent. Drop Cycling still the leaders of the series, but Podium Ambition and Team Breeze swap places.
After 3 rounds, it is the team of Drop Cycling!
So it's Drop Cycling that stay in the red and white overall leaders' jerseys.
A huge congratulations, your first tour series. It couldn't have gone better. What are your emotions right now?
No, I'm really happy. Yeah, pleased I'm going well, and also pleased the team. We definitely needed a win tonight, so yeah, and it was good to deliver that.
And such a huge gap as you came across the line. Talk me through that decisive move.
Well, it wasn't really. I was actually trying to lead Grace out for the sprint finish. Then all of a sudden, I think there were a couple of crashes behind, and then suddenly there was no one on my wheel, so I decided just to go for it, go for the solo victory.
And how much do you come into this races with a game plan, and talk me through that process?
Well, we knew that we were coming here with a strong team, with myself, Sarah and Nicole coming back after the Tour of California. And so Sarah and myself knew that we wanted to make it hard from the gun, but we also had Grace Garner, who had a good sprint on her. So, yeah, no, it was good. All options open, really.
Well, congratulations. Well done. Thanks for joining us. And time now for a quick break, but don't go anywhere because